Hi guys, it's EGC here. So today I'm here with another decent deck profile. This time I'll be covering the updated Greedon deck profile. So we do have a few ways to play with Greedon with a few updated cards. One of them is actually playing back to the older Greedon, which is showed in the anime. That is one way to play. But the other one, which is the one that I'm going to show you, is the one that I think more people choose to go with, which is the Greedon Masques. The reason we go for Greedon Masques is because we are a lot easier to get the condition that we only lose when we're on 7 damage, not 6. With the old Greedon, you actually need to have another Greedon in your soul. So if you don't ever see another Greedon, that would be a problem. So and you actually need to like commit a lot of stuff for your Greedon to just restand and be strong. But the good thing about using the old Greedon is you can actually restand and then restand with the new stuff, which is something that you cannot simply do before. So if you want to go for that route, you can also look into that. But today I'm going to cover the mask one. Okay, so now the right line is still with the Desire Devil. Nothing too fancy right here, just basically the same. You keep drawing cards, you're finding pieces, and then you try to keep them in your soul so you have enough Desire Devil for you to activate all your skills, and that's basically it. And then of course we will have our 4 Greedon Masques and 2 of our masks. 2 I think is enough. We do have some Searcher as well, and worse or worse, you can just simply ride it on top. You just don't get the person right benefit, but it's still okay because you still get the benefit of only losing to 7 damage. Always say 6, 7. Yeah, but the restand is only once, so it won't keep restanding, even though you probably won't have that much regas from your back row as well. But with the new cards, and then some support from like previous sets, we actually can do a stronger play, I would say, and the attack line is actually a lot more beautiful. So yeah, very good to see with upgrades. Okay, and then next we have this little elephant, Toxin. So this, when this is placed on Riga Circle, just up to 1 card with Greedon or Desire Devil in its card name from a drop and add it to your soul. So if you have something that you have somehow soul blast out, you can just put them back in. And then if your soul has a total of 4 or more cards with Greedon or Desire Devil in their card name, station will get plus 5k until end of turn. So it is a simple 88 beater, even though it's only a on place effect. But then sometimes you actually need to soul blast some of your Desire Devil in order to reach what you want to achieve. For example, with Skull Camera, because you do want to find your mask to your hand so that you can get prepared to either search for a Greedon mask or at least put that into the drop zone. Put your mask in the drop zone so you can activate the effects. But that you need to soul blast 1. And this can bring you back 1 soul back in, so you can still fulfill the requirement for the worst case where once you soul blast your cards, you don't have enough. Right, so that I think is a very good backup. And the Skull Camera I just explained, mainly for the Searcher, for the mask. I don't quite care about the Dragon Tree marker, but it's given while you activate the skill to search for the mask, so it doesn't matter. But if you already have a mask, then you can consider to just save the cost for something else, because we do have something that is a lot more cost heavy. So yeah. Next is a card from actually DZBT01, so his previous set, which is Desire Devil Motion. So this is a very interesting card. When your Vanguard with Greedon, this card name attacks, it is the second battle of this turn, and you do not have a rearguard with the same card name as this card, you may call this a rearguard circle. If you do, and then your turn, it cannot be put into your soul by Vanguard ability, but it gets power plus 5k. Now, this was a card that some people started to use, but not a lot, because we always want to have like grade 2 staying in the front row while having the Dragon Tree marker boosted to 15k, so we can just kind of getting a constant number. But this, you can just simply reuse it, and as long as your Vanguard is only like attacking during the second time of the battle of the whole turn, not the Vanguard attacking the second time, but it's the second battle of the whole turn with all your attacks, then you can bring him up. Right, so worse than worse, with Greedon, we always need to like keep removing our guards on the field, and we might not have that much of the attacker. So worst case is you can actually put this to the back row, right? And then you can use your Greedon Mask to swing, put this in to withstand, right? And then the second time you attack, you can bring it out, while you have maybe like one empty Rigor Circle. Of course, like the first time attack, if you play front triggers, it won't get benefits, but you have a chance to actually create another attack while still fulfilling your Greedon Mask skill, right? So that I think is already helping the deck a lot, even though it is a no shield value grade 3, but we do have this to put cards from the drop zone into the soul, right? So you can just simply ditch it and then reuse it from the soul, right? So that's already a lot of things that you can like reacting with the new card. That's why we see more plays of this card, because in the old times you play it, it won't go away unless you put it to the bottom, to the back row, and then it might ruin some of your plays maybe, and because once you ditch it, it's really, in old times, it's really hard for us to grab Desired Devil from the drop zone into the soul. So now with this, we actually are doing something a lot greater. Okay, next, another new card, Desired Devil Alacre. When this unit is placed on Rigor Circle during your main phase, energy blast free, so do be careful with your energy usage. Choose a unit with Desired Devil, its card name, and different from this unit from your soul, and call it to Rigor Circle. Now, another way to increase your attackers or increase the sacrifice you need to put on the back row for Greedon Mask to eat, that is already like very good, because like in the past, if we actually want to increase our number of regards, we always need to kind of use Soul Blast cost, we always need to use Counter Blast cost, but now you only need to use Energy Blast free. And so far only the new cards are using energy, so you do have a lot of energy spare for you to use the skill to actually spam it even. So yeah, it's just great. And then front row Rigor Circle once per turn. When your grade 3 or higher Vanguard with Greed on its card name attacks, until end of the turn it will get plus 5k, and if your damage zone has 4 more cards, this unit will get plus 5k. Now it's only once per turn, so that even your Greed on is standing attack again, it won't plus another a total of 10k if both requirement fits, but it's still a 20k, right? With the Dragon Tree marker is actually 25, so it really does the job, right? And it's even better than just simply old stuff. For example, Sayo or Saisho, whatever it's called, the little crow, is a 50k base, 20k with Dragon Tree marker. This get 5k more. So with that 5k more, it requires more shields, and that's why this card is a triple rare and is so important, right? Then this is for basically for your surge, and then extra shield, extra 5k for attacking, and we all know how good it is. And then we have a Fujo. Now Fujo I was running 4, but now we have a lot of ways to like after putting them to the drop zone, and then we can reuse them, even though once you pop the skill is bind, so you won't be able to use that again. But even when we are running 4 is mainly because we want a lot of high pressure with the guard restrictions to make your opponents feel scary, but it isn't exactly very effective, and that is why we are also running Incane to increase our drive to make it more scary, right? But do remember this costs you 2 color masks, so it's quite heavy, so you do need to check on your cost. But this you just need to look at the right time and do the guard restrictions, and the pressure is spreading out right now with this to actually be or even this to be strong reguard columns instead of focusing a lot of attacks on your Vanguard. So the pressure to use this card is lowered right now. At least that's what I think. So once you can actually apply high power lines to your reguard, that will still in another way take a lot of guards from your opponent, or even just make them cannot guard at all. Okay. Next is another new card, which is a Desire Devil Gorjo. When this unit is put from Regal Circle into Soul, so basically your Greedon Mask skill to put it into Soul. If you have a Graveyard or higher Vanguard with Greed on his card name, you get Energy Blast free and put this card into your hand. So it can be a 5k shield, it can be another sacrifice for the next turn. And then on Guardian Circle, your continuous skill, you have a Graveyard or higher Vanguard with Greed on his card name, and your damage zone has 4 more cards. This unit will get plus 5k shield. So that basically benefits you a lot, because it can be a kind of a free sacrifice even though it's energy blast free, but again you don't need to use energies except for these 2, so you have a lot of energy to just keep rotating for yourself, and it can be a 10k shield, or if you don't actually need that 10k shield, you can just reuse it next turn, energy blast free, go back to your hand again. So it keep recycling. As long as you have enough Desire Devil in your soul that fits the requirement for your Greedon Mask, you can just keep recycling it until you need to drop it as a 10k card, right? So that is a very good support, because again with Greedon Mask, the weak point is we always need to commit a lot to gamble for our trigger chance to make a Greedon Mask big so that our opponents need to guard. But if you are fighting, for example, a very experienced Solar player, they can simply guard everything unless you are very lucky. But if you rely on luck on this deck, even though it is kind of a luck deck while you need to drive check a lot, when you have other choices to make it more scary, then we can actually choose the route. And that's why these supports are actually making the deck so good. And then we have 2 more Dragon Shoe Wretch. If we actually need more sacrifices, we can Soul Blast 2 to pull 1 out, which basically will be your Incane, so that you can reuse the skill to gain drive to force your opponents to drop more cards. Basically that's it. But maybe you just don't have enough energy for the turn you put this in, and then the next turn you Soul Blast to put this out and you have free energy, then you can reuse it. So there's a lot of ways that you can actually utilize this skill. Now PG, I'm using the booster PG, but if you want to use the Blizzarder, you can. Nothing too much to talk about that. It's all personal preference. Now going to triggers, I am indeed using the Dark States one still, because once it's actually popped out, your Greedon attacking 2 times, so it's always benefiting. But if you want to use the Water Elemental or even just the Fire Elemental, you can go for it, but I still think this is a benefit. And then for crits, I'm running 7 crits, which doesn't have to be Soaring Crit because I will use them for guard, and they won't get boosted and go into the soul once they go into Grade 3, so there's no point in using that. And because our playstyles change, we're actually running 4 of the fronts, and also with Inkane to increase the drive, so we kind of having more draws. And worst of the worst, we can energy blast 7 to draw a card, which 99% I won't be doing that, but it is having enough kind of draw power. Yeah, and a lot of cards can be recycled in a way to exchange for more drive checks. And since our frontline power line is actually getting better, we get 25s, we get 18 to 23s, and then if we actually apply the front triggers to them, they will be even more scarier, right? And hitting a lot more key numbers. So now when your Vanguard swing, if your opponents have no idea what kind of triggers you're running, they are still thinking you're running draws, then they're giving you a 2 pass. When they see a front, they will start to sweat. So I think front trigger is a good pick. And then for heals, if you want to use the effect heals, you can. It doesn't matter. So far, the game won't last too long with this deck, because you are trying to not only make your Vanguard big, but you're also trying to make your Regards big, and your opponents will need to give you a lot of stuff from there. Yeah, so that's basically it. Yeah, nothing too much to cover on, but if you have any questions, as usual, you can still ask in the comments down below. I'm always ready for different questions. But with this kind of upgrades, makes Greedon stronger and stronger, which I like it a lot. Even though in the anime somehow they are trying to remove all the mask units away, because we don't see Magnolia Mask at all. We didn't see Greedon Mask at all. Not sure why they do that, but maybe it's a way to actually like save costs to draw new units. Maybe because Greedon and Greedon Mask, like some changes there. I don't know, but it is a good deck. It is getting better. Can it go to top? Maybe, but the problem is this deck will be having a very hard time against Pragra, because they will kill your front row attackers. And even though if you can somehow recycle, you actually need to commit a lot still. But that is the same for everyone. But with Greedon, as long as you are facing a very strong bot white type attack, you will have a hard time. And like Dominate will still be a problem. So some people actually using the Angel Ladders. If you are trying to use the Angel Ladders, then you can actually cut one of these out to put the Angel Ladders. But do need to be careful on the timing to use the Angel Ladder, because that and your mask is also a normal order, and they are both grade 3 normal orders, so they will be available at the same timing, and you can only use one per turn, so do be careful about that. Other than that, I think you will be fine on this deck and have fun. Yeah, so I think that's it for this deck profile. Subscribe for more other deck profiles that's coming out. I still have a few, but might need a little bit time to fine tune them before I roll them out. There might be another one coming out soon, but I need to look into my schedule. And then more deck fights. Hopefully I can get more deck fights coming out. I haven't been actually get a chance to play for like 2 weeks now, so I just stick with what I built right now and giving to you guys. And then of course unboxings. We do have the premium decks that are coming out this month, and the next month we have set 2, and finally I can upgrade my Soldier again. So stay tuned for all that. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.